Trinidad burned down, we living in the ashes. And let me tell you, what that man singing, Penguin, that song about 30 years old. It's like he sang it yesterday. He sang the song yesterday. Trinidad is, we named tonight's video, one people under pressure. This country feels like it falling apart. Tell me, who don't know that? They have so many issues to address. And who do you turn to? Who do you turn to? I want to address those who give me all kind of licks for their parties and not challenging their own leaders. I understand that Kamala called Rowley a Oreo. I have one question. Kamala, who were you insulting? Because it was an insult. Who were you insulting? When you call Keith Rowley an Oreo as an insult, who were you trying to insult? The blacks or the whites? Who? Who were you trying to insult? And where are all of the UNC, fake UNC, hide and seek UNC, bust out and shout UNC, attack everybody UNC? Again, or the leader demonstrated. And she had no class. She just like Rowley, you know. Kamala's only look good held up next to Rowley, you know. That's not a real leader. And somebody posted on one of the threads, what affected the day of rest and reflection is when Kamala jumped out herself and tried to take credit for it. And everybody went to work. Because nobody want to say that they're staying home because Kamala tell them to stay home. Nobody want to give the UNC that kind of support. The PNM under Keith Rowley is getting away with political murder. Because when you look on that side of the aisle, there's nothing there to make you feel that hope exists in the parliament. Kamala says she have a plan for Petrotrin. You was in government for 5 years. This bacchanal started yesterday. What happened to the plan? Where was your plan? I want you to stop bullshitting the people, Kamala. I was there. I watched what you all did. As Choki said, I was in town. I watched what you all did with your 5 years. I want Basdeo Pandey and everybody in the UNC to explain what happened to the Caroni rum stocks. Or did the rum stocks find its way in Angostura clandestinely? What happened to Caroni rum stocks? If you all have so much answers for what's going on with Caroni, you had 5 years in government. It took John Rahal 6 months to shut Caroni down. You could have opened it back. All of you all playing games with people. Playing race mate games. So you just trying to pull your little side together. So you call Rowley a Oreo. Cool. No problems, babe. Rowley is now an Oreo. But all the black people now can't vote for you. And all the white people can't vote for you. And all you did was isolate Indo-Trinbagonians behind the Caroni Bridge. You help nobody. You're not helping anybody. Let's be honest. All you're looking for a next opportunity to face. The same financiers that blowing smoke up Rowley has, you want some of that smoke. You know that. I know that. So let's stop the bullshit. There is nothing there for the people. Kamala, let's be honest. Kate Rowley is an absolute shit snake. We accept that. But we have voted shit snakes out to allow other shit snakes in, hoping for the best. This is a country where the people go to the polls trying to vote for the lesser of two evils. Never in our history have we gone to the polls excitedly to vote a government into office. We voted the NAR construct that didn't last as long as the Red House fire, because people rewrite history and they forget our history. Pandey and Robbie start falling out 1 year in, you know. When in 1986, by 1987, Pandey and Rowley wasn't talking, you know. By 1988, Pandey took the Indians out of the NAR and went to Aranguez and formed Club 88. But we voted the NAR construct prior to the coup. The NAR had already fallen down. Pandey and Robbie had fallen out. Mash it up. You keep your rice, I take in my handball. And we've seen that so many times. So many of these political pretenders jump out somebody else's party to transform their own. We voted the NAR into office because, let me tell you, we'd have voted Satan himself to get rid of George Chambers. We'd have voted Satan. Satan could have come and run for election in Trinidad, and his whole campaign could have been, it's Satan time now, and we'd have voted. Christian, Catholic, Presbyterian, Muslim, Hindu, everybody lining up. What can't get worse? Is Chambers or Satan? Come on, man. Country was that bad. Eric Williams, for all the cultists that's still alive, for all the suffering black people with corn on their foot and hungry belly tonight that still feel Eric Williams was anything other than a self-serving, criminal, co-conspiring, socialist enslaver of the people who supported him. Really, that whole generation need to go. You need to pass on, because you're not remembering what Williams did was to open your children's future and tell Johnny O'Halloran and the band, oh, let's just take and go now. Take and go. Manning and Seth, Manning and Calder Hart, Pandey and Ish and Steve. The only reason the NAR thief is because they had no money to thief. Robbie, for all you want to say about him, attack with full force, I will never forget that. I consider you a patriot for that moment. But all of y'all, really and truly, not one of the leaders of this country we have ever had has ever had the people's best interest. And we've come down a slippery slope because Eric Williams was a criminal. George Chambers was an absolute jackass. George Chambers only ended up as Prime Minister because the three closest people to Williams at the time was Kamal Mohammed, Errol Mahabir, and George Chambers. And they didn't think Trinidad could have taken an Indian Prime Minister. Now, I don't know who gave them that concept. And they kind of made that a self-fulfillment out of Eric Williams' own attack against the Indian community, because they divided the nation. Under Eric Williams, they divided the nation. The original colonists divided the nation. That's how England ate the world. England ate the world by landing in a country and finding out what makes up the majority and how to divide them against each other. So both of them will side with you and want to kill one another. If you, in Rwanda, you can't tell the difference between the Hutus and the Tutsis. It's like a comic book. front of me. One is a Hutu and one is a Tutsi, and both of them want to kill each other. And it is the colonists that did that. The colonists went into Africa, taught them how to pray, and kill one another. That's what England did. And not just England, Spain, France, Germany, but England did it best. England did it best. Of all the empires we've had, in the wake of England, the world has never recovered. Every war we've had in recent memory, everything that's going on in the Middle East, all of that you could trace to England trying to eat the world. And I know there are English people who thinks the Queen shits Haagen-Dazs. So they don't want to hear that the Queen is criminals. I don't want to deal with them. When those criminals left, we had a homegrown criminal of our own, Eric Williams. And look at the history of Trinidad and Tobago, because at the same time, Dubai and Singapore happened. Dubai and Singapore happened at the same time as Trinidad. And look at where we are. A shithole, a cesspool, a third world, failed nation, banana republic, narco state. Today, $500,000 worth of cocaine wash up on the shore in Cedros. We such a narco state. Cocaine lapping its way onto the shore. Cocaine lapping itself onto the shore. And don't get me wrong, I understand. Eric and them, they twist the education system. So from small, children taught shit. They don't know what to think. You're bringing up your children, you're telling them Eric Williams is God and Trinidad, and this is the way, and don't like Indian people, and Indian people mustn't like black people, and you have a Sat Maraj, and you have a Eric Williams, and the people get so much bullshit in their head. And the criminals stole out all the money, so sufferation was the order of the day. So to get food on your plate, you gotta pick a side. England teach me that. England teach me that. And we've never had a government to date come into office to date and said the well-being of the citizens is the function, purpose, and reason for government. The Progressive Empowerment Party has put that into the national conversation. Before us, no one understood that concept. That the reason for government is the protection, provision, security of the people. That the function and purpose of government is the happiness of the people. When we tell Trinidad and Tobago that Trinidad and Tobago should have a happiness index that should be made up of 12 critical criteria that should be available on our website, open to the public, that you could go and vote. Are you happy? Yes or no? If you're not happy, tell us why. And an algorithm will take that straight to the relevant ministry. Not happy, not safe. Not happy, can't get a job. Not happy, can't find food. Not happy, can't buy a house. Not happy, food too expensive. Not happy, not happy. Why? Because on that algorithm, it will sort itself out. The happiness index, Trinidad and Tobago, are we happy? 58% of our citizens said today they're happy. And those who are not happy, this is why. And right there for the world to see. National security, 78% of the reason why they're not happy. Housing, food, water, no water in your tap, all of this. And you and the Prime Minister and every minister will be able to see. I said to Trinidad and Tobago, outlaw this bullshit with blue lights. Outlaw it. So that when everybody reach the cabinet and the Prime Minister reach late, because the Prime Minister shouldn't have no blue lights. If you have a proper running country, there shouldn't be, excuse me for that, there shouldn't be any means from bandits. I mean, this is a 2x4 freaking postage stamp, but we have gangs. You could pass with a crocus bag and a straw broom and pick up the whole freaking gang and throw it in the sea. But we're playing games with the people. We have gangs and we have terror camps. Trinidad, the whole of Trinidad, not big enough to be a terror camp. You could end that tonight. You could say we're ending it now. It's 8:22. By 8:32 it's done. They've been bullshitting you. And you've been sitting down taking that bullshit. We've never had a government with any care or consideration for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Not one. So when you have no water, and you post you have no water, I know water in Glencoe, you only have no water for a week, we have no water for 6 months, and that's a competition. We had jackass, bandit, criminal, Eric Williams for 30 years. Twists black people's minds to the point where we are such a socialist state. The National Housing Authority, dude, that became URP, that madness broke the spirit of heretofore very energized, motivated grandchildren of Africa. Eric Williams broke their spirit. Eric Williams broke them. That you, like they're doing it in THA now. Go and see what the THA doing in Tobago. The THA in Tobago doing in 2018 what Eric Williams did in Trinidad and Tobago in 1965. Break your hope. Break your spirit. Make you and your family dependent on doctor politics. You must go to the THA and lick THA ass to get a job, to get a title, to get a deed for your friggin' land, to get permission to build your house. This is a country where they could make you fat with a government office. With a government office. We have members of the PEP that have to come to me, and we're in tears today. Philip, they can't stop me from voting for you. But I have to step back because they're terrorizing me. And I know, because I deal with it every day. Like these jackasses that are based all over the world. One in LA and one in South Korea. Talking about politics in Trinidad and Tobago. But they're 100 million miles from here. So they insulated. When they go in the kitchen and turn on the tap, water flowing. We know. We here. Who in the kitchen is feeling the heat? They have nobody even camera afraid to stand up. Even the UNC have to hide a set of fake profiles. They're afraid. I hear on Facebook with all my Christian given names. I hear in this mad-ass country, Eric Williams broke the spirit of the grandchildren of Africa, made them hopeless dependents. Every time you pass an at-risk community, a hotspot community, Eric Williams, responsible for that, and Manning continued it. Manning continued it, and Rowley never shit about nobody. And Kamala Rowley's not an Oreo. Rowley's a jackass. Rowley's not racist. You could be any color. Once he could eat and benefit from you, if he could climb up on you, lie down on you, or eat with you, he there with you. We've literally voted evil into office time after time after time till we couldn't tell which was more evil. From Williams to Chambers to the NAR to Patrick Mervyn Augustus Manning. Patrick Manning was a high-functioning sociopath with a serious inferiority complex and an ego driven by unchecked narcissism. That is the psych profile of the man that ran the country together with Bastio Pandey. And Bastio Pandey only wanted to like himself. Bastio Pandey got an opportunity to run the country. What did he do with it? What did he do with it? People say, price of oil was $30 and he built a hospital. No, he built a police station. You're building police station, but you're not fixing the police service. You're building hospital, but you're not fixing public health. You're building schools, but you're not fixing education. You're in the building business so that your friends and financiers could make triple and quadruple the money. Ish and Steve and Quaitang and the balance of them in the airport give us a $10 million cow shed and charge us $1 billion so the children could be whining on Carnival Tuesday. Look at me. I'm a section leader. My daddy thief the money, you know, so I could put beads on my vagina. And that's really that. And we've accepted this bullshit. Not one of them have the moral authority to tell you anything tonight. Not one. And if the people of the PNM and the UNC woke up this morning with an ounce of self-respect, they would they would vote those two parties into oblivion. But there are people outside there thinking, Kamala less worse than Rowley. Less worse. Clarence Rambarat coined that phrase. He is now your Minister of Agriculture. These criminals don't care what you do them, you know. You can say what you want about them. If you could help them get into government so they could thief, come on board, come on down. Like the guy from The Price is Right, come on down. You could say what you want. If come elections time, you will see them. They are sending into the PEP people to come and get close to me just to say, Phil, you know, we can link up, you know. You're sure? You're sure? You're inside? Both sides, you know. Both sides. Because that's all they want. They don't care I can cuss them every night. As long as I bring in votes and help them getting back in the power, get in the government, become the boy Philco. You know, we use we spar. That's the bullshit where they take. They inside the party. They come inside. You know the latest thing that the UNC doing? Creating fake profiles and putting pep frames on them and attacking people. So now we have to tell people, do not add people who just joined Facebook. If they have a pep frame, don't be fooled by the pep frame. If somebody adding you as a friend, check and see how long they're on Facebook. If they're on Facebook in the last 2 months, do not, regardless, ignore the pep frame. Because that's what they're doing. You see, we can't stop that. We can't police that. They're not coming with a serial number for us to say. So it's only when we find out these are fake profiles and their mission is to make the PEP sound or look this way, they create a profile called Noah Hill to attack Overseas Peppers. Because Overseas Peppers standing firm and building this party. I want to tell the overseas members of the Progressive Empowerment Party, your role in this party is so important to us that for the first time in this country's history, an election is going to be held, the PEP's internal election. We've had meetings for the past 4 months. The reason we missed the deadline that we set for ourselves to have the election is because we have been working out how to get you to be able to vote. The overseas PEP members are as important to us as the local PEP members, and we wanted to make sure that you can vote for your leadership in your party. And that's what took us all this time. So we finally solved that problem. For the first time in the history of this country, a political organization, and we tell you that with a PEP government, we will amend the Representation of the People's Act. So like how Americans based in Trinidad could vote in the American election, Trinidadians based all over the world will be able to vote in our elections because it is their country too. And the only reason most of them not here, the only reason most of our foreign-based Trinis are not here is because of the jackass governments that we've had from 1962 to now that have destroyed this country. You see what they did to Maracas Beach? I mean, it boggles the mind that such a thing was possible. I remember the original Maracas Beach when I was small. And the wooden shacks outside, and it was real kitschy. It was, you know, Trinbago, and it was tropical. It was this we thing. Look at what they do to it. Raw sewage running through the beach. It's like you said, I ask all the time, what have you done? They set out to mash up Maracas. They set out to mash up Maracas. They sell a 1%er Las Cuevas. That gone. They negotiating away the pitch lake. I see Marcia Brave Boy, UNC, talking about Rowley sell the pitch lake. Manning sell the pitch lake. Kamala ratify the deal. Stop talking bullshit to the people. Every single step along the way, every single one of them. You cannot tell me that you were in government for 5 years and you didn't fix the judiciary and you didn't fix the justice system. You didn't fix it. You in government for 5 years, you didn't try to fix the police service. You in government for 5 years, you didn't try to fix education. You in government for 5 years, you didn't try to fix public health. You're building freaking buildings. More buildings go help we. In India, they teach children in a drain, and those children grow up and get degrees and move on with their life. You don't need building, you need proper schools with proper teachers and a proper system. We don't have that. We don't have that. You didn't fix the way government is done in Trinidad and Tobago. Trying to explain to people, overseas people, not Trinbagonians overseas, foreigners, trying to explain to them that our country is deliberately set up to fail. That the police service, the precinct model, doesn't line up with the regional health authority, public health model, doesn't line up with local government and their regional corporations, and those don't line up with elections and boundaries constituency map. Not one of those four things line up. So you can't even have something like communication for health, education, public works, public utilities, and national security. And those 5 important things is the government's job. Add to that home ownership. Add to that the ability to get a proper job. See that? That's the government work. All them ministers with all them fancy position wasting freaking time drawing money under false pretenses. You have ambassadors and high commissioners all over the world, like Trinidad going and invade somebody, or we go into war. What the ass we have all that for? All of that waste of money. Call back all. Trinidad need United Nations, Africa, Asia, America, Europe. 5 high commissioners. Fire the rest. Shut down all of those embassies and all of those high commissioners and bring back all of those highly paid CPEP and OJT workers. But Kamala ain't telling you that. She want to bullshit you. Like Rowley bullshitting you. Rowley want to tell people you can't build a bridge to Tobago. But you're going and sell the crown jewels of this country to give the Chinese the pitch league. This jackass putting the next government that come into power on the line that have to stand up and face China and take them to court in the world to reclaim what is ours by birthright. While this jackass and his friends playing divvy up with commissions and kickback. What is going on with the hostile boat? Who is the agent for hostile in Trinidad and Tobago? Is he a PNM former minister? Is he on Keith Rowley's slate? Who? Ask the questions. Ask the questions. Ask what is going on in your country every single day. Ask it. We didn't step out to do this, to play Basama. That is the bullshit that the PNM and the UNC have given you, and exchange that. That is what you get as politics. Eric Williams twists the minds of Indian people. Sak Maraj, of black people. Sak Maraj do it for Indian people. And now, the grandchildren of Africa and the grandchildren of India, in the only country in the world where they have a conflict, this 2x4 postage stamp, this rock in the water, or they just keep talking about tsunami alert. Or they better pray a tsunami never passed Trinidad, you know. It washed all the way away. Trinidad is a dot. A tsunami in the water, the smallest, is 100 times the width of Trinidad. It will literally swamp us. Water all up in Cumberland Hill. Water everywhere. Wash you clean. Stop praying for them things. Stop talking like we're a real country. We're not. We're not. They can annex we, put we in the bag and go with we in the morning. Nobody miss where we were. What was there? Can't remember. This is your country. But for anything else, you were born here. This is yours. There are people in this country. My brother raised his 3 children in Canada, in a first world nation. And every time he speaks to me, is, boy, stop wasting your life in that shithole. The people are broken. What Eric Williams did to black people in Trinidad and Tobago cannot be undone. This is what I'm told. Now I went walk around in La Joqueta Talparo, see a man literally living in shit. He living in filth. If I was living his life, I kill myself. If I couldn't leave, I'd kill myself. That's his life. And he come outside, watch him. I's a police, and I vote in Rowley. We ain't talk to the son of a bitch yet. I's a police, and I vote in Rowley. That is what passes for intelligent. He have a vote. He gets to decide your well-being. That's what Eric Williams did. And across the road from him, an Indian, here down to the back of his knees, walking around with birds in his hand. Kamala, 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 Kamala. That's all he said. And I said to myself, standing between these two jackasses, I can't share blame. I can't share blame. I can't apportion blame. That's not my role. But I'm standing there as a thinker, and I'm thinking, Philip, you could think yourself through any problem. There's a solution to anything. And I swear to God, I was lost. I didn't know. I am literally talking to people. There's a saying, arguing with people who are devoid of reason is like attempting to administer medicine to the dead. And sometimes, politics in Trinidad and Tobago feels like that. Feels like you are trying to administer medicine to the dead. That's how it feels. Like it can't fix. Like what Williams do, break them. Can't do. You talk to people who go away, they see the world, they get a vacation, they come back, they say, oh God, but it's like, somebody tell me today, she say, there's come a time when you leave Trinidad, when you leave that Trinidad mindset behind, and you only realize it when you see another freshly arrived Trinidadian, and oh shit, I used to be like that. They've broken the people of this country, broken them to their core. Nothing you could say tonight changes that. Nothing. This is a country where Tobagonians watch their elected chief secretary get sent to sit down like a dog by the Prime Minister, and they laugh. A man lied to them to their face. They know he lying, but they have to laugh and clap because food is contingent on laughing and clapping. In a country so rich, where the Prime Minister should be fired every 6 months if they don't deliver. A country so rich where every citizen of this country should be naturally wealthy. But we have a La Joqueta Talparo, we have an Embacadere and an Enterprise. This country broken, where the people of Diego Martin don't realize that if you start at River Estate and Patna and you drive to Bagatelle and down past Rich Plain, Covey, Mason, Factory Road, coming down till you reach La Puerta, all of a sudden you bounce up Westmoreland and the country bright. Them white people and them now them get everything. They get pavement, road, their lamppost don't lean, and they don't have grass growing on the road. You could walk and know when you're in a PNM diehard community, not the people's homes, you know, how the government treat the infrastructure around them. It's that the government know these jackasses could do them way of one. PNM could come in here tonight and beat everybody. And they go say, boss, that was the best licks we ever get. Next time you come in, walk with a half pack of cigarette. Petrotrin is a classic example. Petrotrin is being owed by private companies hundreds of millions of dollars. Unipet, I am told, owes Petrotrin $500 million. That means Unipet has been getting Trinidad gas, your gas, my gas, to their pumps, pumping it up, making their profit, the investors, the shareholders, the directors, getting to improve their status in life by not paying for the gas. It's like you own a parlor and you could just take stock every single day and just sell it and the whole thing is profit. Because I don't understand how Unipet could be owing Petrotrin $500 million. I don't understand how the government, through all the different state enterprises, could be owing Petrotrin $7 billion. I don't understand how Ken Julian and Malcolm Jones and Conrad Enel and the rest of the bandit clan get away with the $12 billion that was all the madness of the gas to liquid and the acidification and the alkalization and all that shit. Petrotrin workers calling me and messaging me all day. I have information for you, I have facts for you. You have nothing for me. You have it for you. But all I don't know, and all is so broken, and I don't know what you're expecting of me. What? You want me to come down? Come down, Petrotrin, and do what? I'm not black, and just tell me that. Just tell me that. In Orioland, where Keith Rowley could tell you what you want, and you're taking that. But he is playing with our Petrotrin. And while the handful of people who understand what is at stake is speaking, the masses getting distracted by bullshit. The whole of Facebook for the whole day is Gary Griffith and rescue Natalie Polony. Because for the first time in the country's history, a commissioner of police actually did his job. This is a nation where public service is so piss poor. I mean, Stephen Williams' whole track record is a failure. He acted like his job was to fail at policing. Because this, when somebody said, tell Gary go and bring everybody else home, I agree. I say it to Gary, do that. You're the commissioner of police. Go and bring Katawaru and Sukdeo and everybody home. Go and bring them home. But the first kidnapping on Gary's watch was the last kidnapping. Police get locked up. Police get locked up. The first kidnapping on Gary's watch will be the last kidnapping on Gary's watch because police get locked up. But under Stephen Williams, you could have thief women by the pound. How much you want? I have 112 pound of woman here. You want it? Going cheap. Under Stephen Williams, you could have do that because police wasn't bringing people back. We don't know who killed that girl in Irons. It's so easy to kill a woman in Trinidad and Tobago and get away in a nation where everybody see everything and nobody don't know nothing. Asami Nagayaki, what's her name? Nobody know who killed her. Nobody know who killed her. 2 men bull and kill Akeem Chambers in somebody's house and get away with murder in this country. So Gary Griffith come into office as commissioner of police and he there 2 weeks. And you commit a kidnapping. All I want to laugh and joke when the man said it was a clinical extraction. I know what he mean. I know exactly what he mean. Play with that red man. But this is a country where the public service is such bullshit that if you were to compare the public service to KFC, you could go to KFC and reach the counter and the cashier tell you, we're on lunch. Come back in an hour. And when the cashier come back and you go on there, say, only ties. But I see, don't ask me, that reserved. But that reserved. That's Trinidad and Tobago. KFC give you a dinner box. You buy a dinner box and you give back exact change and you open the box and what you pay for, you get round of applause. Take a picture, share it on Facebook. I see people say, I only spend 2 hours in immigration to get my passport. Round of applause. This is a police officer crossing a woman across the street. Round of applause. We have such a low standard for ourselves, our country, and what passes for public service, that if it even come close to what they paid for, round of applause, your prime minister is robbing the nation blind. Your prime minister and his cabinet stole, hear my word, $3 million in broad daylight to pay for his daughter, man, father medical bills that he not entitled to. So he is part of the theft. A mad country. What is going on with Petrotrin is an actual daylight plunder. What went on with the boat purchase, with the Superfast Galatia, with the sea bridge and the port? What going on with the insurance on the port? What going on with the advertising contracts in the government? What going on with that Labidco madness that is literally a gang rape? That is about to happen. You sign people. Kamala and Vasan say, we sign it first. It's like, and I say to myself, they didn't see the problem, you know. They saw that somebody else got credit. This country and us, mad. Eric Williams broke the minds of black people. Indian people in Trinidad and Tobago have a sense of entitlement they can't shake. They don't know how to shake it. They're walking around knowing that every time the PNM in office, Indian people are a suck salt. So that when they have an Indian government, it's we time now. They don't know what that means, you know. They don't know. I get box trained on. There are places in Trinidad still not on the electricity grid. There are places in Trinidad still that do not qualify for public roads because they are not PNM constituencies. This nation is a broken, little, corrupt, mad nation where cocaine is washing ashore in Cedars, where we don't understand our role and our responsibility as citizens in this democracy. Because if we did, when Christopher Philip died on the General Hospital loan, 10,000 of us would have showed up there. And we wouldn't leave till they fired the hospital CEO and the Minister of Health. The buck stops with you. Fire you. If it is this corrupted and broken under you, you are the problem from the top down. You see, the CEO knew what the security guard was doing. The CEO knew it had to reach him. Because if it not reaching him, fire him for that. That's his job. It's his job to know. The Chief Executive Officer of the Regional Health Authority have one job: to know everything that's going on in his RAJ. So if he has a security firm with a contract that dropping security guards that willing to fling a old man out into the river, let the man dead, crawling around with his pants down by his knees, in a nation so criminal and inhuman. That little boy, Akil Chambers, that would have been a 31-year-old man this year. You let two business people, one a banker, one a fashion designer, rape an 11-year-old child and allow a conspiracy. I'd lock up Anna James and everybody who was in that party because somebody in this party raped this child. Somebody raped this child. How much people was in that fete? 50 people. How much parents get invited to this little child pool party? How many that you couldn't find out of the 40, the 30, the 20, which one of y'all raped this child? Who hid the body? Who hid it? Who brought it out from its hiding place after everybody left and put it at the bottom of the pool to say, there's a body? Who? Who was the police officer who took the report, who sanitized the scene? Who? All of this is the conspiracy. In a real country, all of them have questions to answer. Not in this mad-ass nation. In Trinidad and Tobago, Nobody is ever to blame. They make it sound like it is always bigger than it really. Listen now. Until I told all the women in this country that until all women stand up for all women, none of the women in this country will be safe. Trinidad and Tobago is a nation, a tiny dot, that its people have divided themselves into so many castes, colors, and cliques. So you could be anything you want to be, defined by who you don't let into your circle. That's the madness of this country. And then Natalie Polony happened. And then all bets off. Wait a minute. That's a white girl. They don't kidnap white girls. What's going on? What's going on? Because the wolf reached their door. And now white Trinidad and Tobago need to engage everybody else. Don't pull back. Because you see, if we come back to being a real country, if we stop this gated community bullshit and this movie tongue separates fish from fowl with pricing, people who go cinema together, who children go to school together, who work in the same district, who live in the same district. I grew up in a Woodbrook. The Woodbrook I grew up in is house, 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 business, shop, house, drugstore, grocery, house. People who live in the community and work in the community and the children grow up in the community and everybody know everybody, don't rob, rape, plunder, and kidnap each other. But we get this idea that we in a gated community, but that is bling. 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 So now, and I ask this question all the time, all of you who are buying gated communities based on the guard hut and the guard control gate, what happens when the ship collapses? What happens then? Because the security guard doesn't live in your gated community. The security guard's children doesn't go to the international school or Maple Leaf with your children. The security guard's wife is not going for high tea in Paprika with your wives. So when the hordes reach outside the gate, the security guards, right, that's it, they must be out of here. The foolishness that you can segregate and separate society by race, color, creed, and class and expect when the shit hits the fan that people who don't look like you, who you don't include in your circle, will be there for you. I felt sorry for Elias Quelo of Quelo's Baking Industries, because when Elias Quelo crashed on Lady Young Road in Morva, they robbed him and left him there to die because they couldn't identify with him. He was a Trini just like them, but not in the Trinidad where he was a white Trini and he's an Afro Trini and he's a rich Trini and he's a poor Trini and he's a straight hair Trini and he's a tata hair Trini. Not that. People don't understand that we've set the pace, we've set the tone, we've created a failed nation by allowing ourselves to be fooled that at some point we could be better than somebody else. And I asked, when Carlos Samga went to the doctor, Carlos Samga, when you own property that the United States Embassy rented, you're big, you're freaking big. And when the doctor tell you 6 weeks, partner, 6 weeks, you travel the world. You find every shaman who will to shake a chicken foot over here. 6 weeks by your flowers. My neighbor, I had a neighbor used to give my dog pressure because my dog used to pee on his flowers. And my neighbor went to the States and dead. And my dog continued to pee on a dead man's flowers. And I used to wonder at that. I used to wonder at that. We think ourselves something that we're not. What we are is a brotherhood of people. That's what we are. We are a species. We are humanity, collectively. That's what we are. By our efforts, our combined efforts, society works. We eat, we drink, we live. By our combined efforts. But they fooled us. They've told us that your effort is more important than his effort, and that your return should be better than his return, and that your children are more important than his children, and your wife can't speak to his wife. So we live in this country, in this make-believe mad-ass nation, where people who's supposed to be their brothers and sisters keepers, the village that was supposed to raise the children, we've burnt it to the ground. We've burnt the shit to the ground. So you never know when you're walking down the road who is friend and who is foe. So when them fake police or real police faking pull Natalie Polony over, she didn't know she was in danger. She didn't know she was in danger. Now everybody talking tonight, well, if police stop me, I'm driving off. Try that shit, man. Try that shit. Try it. You don't have an AR-15. You can't legally shoot back. So they tell you stop, you stop it. And that's why we don't go nowhere again. That's why at night, they have nobody kicking football in the savannah. That's why the country is becoming more and more a nation of people isolated from each other, living in fear and desperation, until the people at the bottom rung of society add squalor to that. This is where we've allowed our leaders to take us. The elders aren't safe. The children are at risk. Your job is conditional on who you know, like the foreign exchange, to keep your business running. If the bank manager take a call from your enemy who hire on you on the social realm, fire truck you. Fire truck you. And you have nobody to complain to. Who you want to complain to? You complain on your bank manager who can recall your loan? Where you going? In this royal, imperial, majestic banana republic, of do what the hell you like, land. Your prime minister is allowing others to feast on this nation in broad daylight, to rob, plunder, pillage, and tear it apart, while we, the people of this country, don't have enough sense to join together and stand up as one people under one flag. And until we understand that we are a collective humanity, 1.4 million strong, we will keep voting stunt artists and charlatans into office who, at the behest of deep-pocketed financiers, friends and families, criminals from the Chamber of Commerce, from among the law fraternity and the accountants, to do us what they want, and we, isolated and alone, standing up here as the ground we call ours continues to dwindle and our pot gets smaller and more empty. And we're trying to give answers to our children as to where we go from here, while fighting to try and get a green card or a get out of jail free card. We've broken the nation by our selfishness, and we could fix it by our togetherness. If you want a better country, wake the hell up. Wake up. Trust me. ammunition to steal what they could via lending and leasing by giving banana republics through their dictators, the scoundrels and the numbskulls like our Keith Rowley. Keith Rowley he epitomizes what a banana republic prime minister looks like, doesn't he? He sounds like a jackass. When you hear that man talk, you don't feel your intellect decrease. When you hear Keith Rowley talk, I feel that way when I hear Kamala talk too. We've never had a real government, and if you're still racist, and if you're still cultist, after all this information, I cannot think of a reason why you might be here. We have 50% higher suicide rates than the global and the regional average. Trinidad and Tobago's people are killing themselves because this country is such a pile of shit. It could be paradise on earth convincingly, but we keep voting shithounds and bandits and criminal conspirators into office. You and me. I know there was a time in 2007 I voted for Keith Rowley, and I wish I could go back in time. On that day I will cut off my voting finger. That jackass.
If it is fabrication, these statements that they spout, when you're voting, vote them out, vote them out. If it is a frustration, that's make you want to shout, when you're voting, vote them out, vote them out. Before they misuse out, deeper sell out and leaks out, give it you, vote them in, vote them out, register up.
Country you want is on the other side of the next decision you make tonight, this Saturday at noon. Last Saturday we was in Aruka and we had that marvelous cottage meeting where you all learned about the okra tree growing in the road. But the Saturday before, for the first time in the PEP's history, we ran out of chairs and we ran out of room. We had to open the double doors and people spilled out into the yard. The party is growing at a clip and a rate. Come out this Saturday at noon. Come, bring your friends, bring your family. the better country that you want, the Trinidad and Tobago that you want to leave your children when you shuffle off this mortal coil, is being planned, discussed, debated this Saturday at noon, 19 Stanmore Avenue. Your office is yours. Everything we do is for the country and the people. There is no benefit out of this for us if we don't get a better nation. The first world country that many leave here to go and find, they could find it right here. We could fix it right here. We could fix healthcare, we could fix education, we could make home ownership a reality, we could reduce the cost of living, we could make jobs for all, government's priority. Look, Gary Griffith showed policing and national security is within your grasp. This Saturday at noon, 19 Stanmore Avenue, all of you to come out. And those of you who do not know, we are right now organizing the second annual PEP barbecue, which is one of our principal fundraisers to pay the rent, keep the lights on in that office. And those of you who can buy multiples of tickets, we do in every one of these fundraisers, we do where people buy tickets 20, 50, 100, and we take it on the same day of the barbecue down to Port of Spain and feed the homeless. Good evening, Felicia Holder. Felicia is here to tell us more about the barbecue and other things.
Good evening, Philip, and good evening again to the viewers. Last night we had this online session and we sold over 50 tickets. I told Philip if we continue this at the pace we're going, we can sell out all the remaining tickets tonight.
I have viewers on this trend who could buy 100 tickets one shot. I want to reach out to them. Tell them what happens to those 100 tickets when it's bought.
The same thing that happened to the curricue, the same thing that happened to the barbecue last year, the same thing that happens for Christmas. We will be taking all the lunches that you guys purchased to go down. The team will be going down into Port of Spain, into the heart of Port of Spain, looking for persons who are homeless, persons who have no living quarters, no hope, no opportunity, nothing. And for that day, we are going to spread some love to them by feeding them with the lunches that you purchase. So we usually cover the time. What's that?
Courtesy of the sponsors. They would be touching people's lives in a way that most people can't. We have pictures, Felicia. You should share it again. You should share it on the live after. We have pictures to show the type of people we go to feed. People who literally have nothing and nowhere else to turn.
Exactly. We
did
this at
$50, right?
$50. If you're purchasing from the US or Canada, it's going to be $10 US for one. Today, someone sent me some money via PayPal to pay for a couple of these lunches. So feel free to do that if you want to do a wire transfer, whatever we have. We have payment options available. We are available, myself and Satish Ramsaran, to help you make these donations if you want to. So again, $50 TT or the equivalent to 10 Canadian or US dollars for one.
Can we drop tickets at Jenny C. Paul Guyadine's store in Chaguanas in Central so that people who can't make it up to town could go by Jenny and get tickets?
Definitely. Jenny is actually supposed to have, or did she just ask for some?
What is the name of her store?
Oh gosh, I can't remember it.
Get that information from Jenny and put it in the thread so that people know. But we will continue to call on them this Saturday at noon.
Yes, this Saturday noon, 19 Stanmore Avenue as usual. That I heard you talking about the I'm in a kids party. So
no problem. Thanks a lot.
Yes, baby, I'm doing a live video here.
Right? I'll take it from here. Thanks a lot for taking the time out from where you are. Much appreciated.
No problem.
Take care.
But no, I have a little time. I just want to invite people. 19 Stanmore Avenue this Saturday, 12 noon. 2 weeks ago, we spill out of the office like I just heard you talking about. I anticipate an even bigger crowd because, I mean, with the protests, with the Aruka meeting we have, the word it's kind of amazing. We're growing at a clip. So looking forward to what we're going to have on Saturday. So
go and play with the kids. Talk to you later.
I'm going back to auntie duties.
Bye-bye.
Have more.
Right. So you heard it from Felicia herself. To all of the overseas peppers, you who are accustomed to helping with these events, you see all the videos and all the pictures as we go down into the heart of Port of Spain. We go, there is a place opposite Riverside Plaza. There's a place opposite Riverside Plaza, the car park, where in the car park they are homeless people. There are people in this country who are so badly off, they don't even qualify for that. They live in the shelter of the homeless shelter. And it is them we go and feed. People who are literally falling apart and dying from diseases, who live in filth. I mean, it is sad and heartbreaking. And I wish we could feed them regularly and get into government and get these people proper care. These are shareholders in Trinidad and Tobago. They're not looking for a handout. They own Petrotrin too. They own NGC. They own Trinidad and Tobago just like you, just like me. And we treat them like dogs. We treat them like dirt. I don't understand how we became this. We need to undo that quick. If we're going to survive as a nation, we have to come together as a people. If we can't become one people under one flag, there is no hope for this country. They will continue to distract you fighting foolish fights while they make off with everything. And when you catch yourself, when you look up, you and the person you're fighting with now holding a debt, obligated to others, with nothing for you to eat. This Saturday at noon, 19 Stanmore Avenue, come out, come out, come out. Love. When I tell you, I stood up on that podium last week, Saturday, and looked at that sea of people and I said, yes, we're getting somewhere. Come out in your numbers. This is yours. That is your office. This is your party. PEPTT.com is your website. PEP app, PEP is yours. Download it for free on the App Store, courtesy of Maya Khan, who does all of the updates for all our social media, keeps the YouTube channel running. For if Facebook is acting up or you can't access Facebook, you get YouTube. Thank you, Maya Khan. We have a whole crew of overseas chapters. We are now setting up, Australia. There's a lot of work going on building a political party. Somebody compare it to being at sea while you're building the ship, and that's exactly what we're doing. But we're doing it well because people are literally piling on. The party is growing at the fastest rate it's ever grown before, and we appreciate each and every one of you. We have an entire operations thread. I can't say hi to all the people. Last time I checked, it was more than 70 of you inside of there, and thank you for being there and for being a front line of the Progressive Empowerment Party. Thank you to all of the people who are members of this organization, who are standing up and standing against the tide of disease and mismanagement that has been Trinidad and Tobago's entire political history. Our entire experience has been politicians that rob, rape, plunder, and pillage this country. Carla Jean is asking for Jenny C. Paul Gayadine to please post the actual address of your store on the thread so that people who are coming from South and Central know where to come. Don't forget the barbecue. We have a couple hundred tickets to sell out, and when it's sell out, it's done. So please make the effort. Let us get this dealt with and squared away. The actual barbecue line is all fours, is karaoke, is family. We take a little drink, who come in, bring what you're drinking, because when we lime in, we ain't politic, eh? We don't politic when we lime in, we don't lime when we politic. And we make sure that when we're doing it well, and we're doing it right. Somebody told me last night, when I play music for young people as well as old people, I took umbrage at that. The people who follow me on this thread, they know soca, they know calypso. But if you want something a little more modern, yeah, let me find something a little more modern.
Tell me what the price is for. What they killing for. We don't need no more now. Tell them wicked people, fire up on them. Fire up on them. Oh Lord, I said this is the air for love. Fire up on them. Fire up on them. Oh, silly boy, you ain't mad at all. Another one just just a smile, say you's a madman. Another young boy fall. You're so
by any means, Lord. You ain't no bad man, boy, now. You ain't no bad man. I ain't bad man, let's make those own decisions. We don't need anyone, we only need God. You ain't no bad man, boy, now. You ain't no bad man. So, sit down, rock back. Tell them I don't need no strap to defend my people from wicked and evil. Whoa. So, sit down, rock back. Big man, look for a walk. You're too damn evil. If they distress my people, then fire go burn them. Fire go burn them. Oh, Lord, I said this is the air for love. Fire go burn them. Fire go burn them. Oh, say little boy, you ain't bad at all. No, tell me what they're fighting for. Killing for. We don't need no water. There's no need. So tell me what they're fighting for. Killing for. We don't need no water. I said we don't want no water. I bad man don't go around raping woman, influencing young ones to kill a boy. Nah. He ain't no bad man, boy. Nah.
Arnold Jackal is asking where the barbecue takes place in the grounds of Stanmore Avenue. At the office, but in the yard, we put out tents and all kind of stuff. And Sterling Leha, who is the caretaker shadow MP for Diego Martin Central, is be our DJ.
Sit down, rock back, big man, frown, damn evil. If they distress my people, then fire go burn them. Fire go burn them. Oh, Lord, I said this is the air for love. Fire go burn them. Fire go burn them. Still, little boy, you ain't got a God. No, tell me what the fight is for. Killing for. We don't need no water. So tell me what the fight is for. I visited Parliament Chamber, witnessed an orchestra, a band of only politicians. Well, rated their performance on style, talent and endurance. A band of parliamentarians. All the things that encourage hate, making good folks discriminate. Bridges replaced by gates. Nurturing racism, prejudice and tribalism, multiculturalism. Mamadism from the UNC and the PNM, SPOD in the political symphony. It's a symphony with the TOP, MSG and JSC and D. Political symphony. It's a symphony. Stop taking it cool. Don't be playing for fool. They're using race as a tool to divide, conquer, and rule. Just like their bull. The race can they always pull. Lead vocalists have sore throat. Keyboard is playing wrong note in this band of serial politicians. Their lyrics not rhyming. Some have no sense of timing in this band of parliamentarians. Save people for the powerless, profiting because of justice. Our democracy at risk. When the section called to the fore, music run to the core. Who arranged this song so impure?
With the UNC and the PNM and the COP in the... Yes, when you come to the barbecue, we are going to have karaoke, and of course I will be singing. You know what I loved? When we were marching to the Prime Minister's office from PEP headquarters on Friday, the PEP members sang "Vote Them Out," almost word for word. Amazing. It was an amazing thing to listen to. And you know what? We're loving ourselves. We're loving the party. We're loving each other. It is time, it is way past time for us to stand together as one people under one flag. It is way past time for us to stand up and stand with each other, make a better country for ourselves and our future, and to leave for the children. Listen, we don't do nothing, you know. We can hold we corner, pack we bag. When we ready, get out. We do that. All we would be is 1.4 million failures. We could be the people that stood the test of time, that pulled together when the challenge was at its highest and said, we will not go gently into that good night. We, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, deserve better and demand better, and we will make it so. We understand our role and our responsibility to our country and our democracy, and we will stand together as one people under one flag. We will bring to an end the days of the racist, cultist political parties and usher in a new era of representation of the people, real governance, that the people could see, feel, and know. That could happen too. That could be our story too. We all just have to want it. We just have to want it right now. Link up with members in the party. Just link up. Come in, talk. Every meeting we have is an open mic. Every meeting. This is the only democratic party in the country. We don't talk at you. We talk with you. We have more policies, programs, policies, plans, and ideas than any other political party in the nation's history. They read it and it shocked them, rocked them. They had to find a way to copy and steal them. PEP, your party, the biggest, best, brightest of all of us, come together, stand firm, stand together. Yes, they are a criminal co-conspiracy, but yes, night could only run till day catch it. It is time for that day to dawn in Trinidad and Tobago. The Progressive Empowerment Party is your party. Come and make it so. Come and make it strong. Come and help us build up, build out, and be ready. Be ready. For the next time they ring that election bell, we must win convincingly. You could make that so. Looking forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Get in touch with Felicia and Satish right now. Buy out those tickets, please. Much appreciated. All of the institutional buyers who are accustomed to messaging me to say they will take a 20 or a 30 or a 50, feel free, message me. I will arrange to get the tickets to you, or to have the tickets bought and fed to the homeless, depending on your demands. Yes? So, until tomorrow, stay safe, Trinidad and Tobago.